questions, we will open it up now. Carol Bird, go ahead.
Yeah, John, I was just curious. You were talking last night about the isolation and all the stuff the players are facing. Are you in a position at all to do anything kind of out of the norm to let them blow off steam, or are they kind of just locked in and have
Well, let
tough?
me give you a couple of things that I've done. And like you guys know that we've been a long time and we haven't had issues here. And I keep coming back to we're in a bubble here. The problem is we're in a bubble here.
Yeah.
But that's why we're safe. But the other side of it is we're in a bubble. We rented out a movie theater. You and I know that's dangerous. It's dangerous. Having them come to my house. I didn't have staff or managers come. We've done it 3 or 4 times. Guess what? If one of our guys gets it, we're going to end up having to shut down because I'm doing stuff to bring them together. We've had some meals out. And again, trying to be at a social distance, but you're eating meal, no mask, you're in a room by yourselves. But again, it's all dangerous. But it got to a point where I said, look, we got to do this. This isn't just about playing basketball and not catching this virus. This has become bigger than that. And it's become, how do we do this other stuff, be as safe as we can be? You're not going to be perfect, but it's as safe as you can be.
How underqualified do you feel when you talk about
Oh,
the mental health part of the whole
Oh.
situation?
well, other than my own mental health, which I've got mental problems myself, always have. I am totally unqualified. Have talked a ton to Bob Rotella. We brought in the sports psychologist and he spent 2-3 days with the kids. They all have his numbers. We have a psychologist on the campus that, these kids can meet with and have. It's just a different. I've had more coaches just say, we're all sensitive to how we approach what we do this year more than any other year. And the kids are a little more fragile across the country because of this. They're missing what being on a college campus, being in a college program, having fans, and they're missing all that right now.
Jerry Tipton, go ahead.
John, you've talked about the consistency after the game at Auburn and then on your radio show last night. And I'm wondering how important that is for any coach to have a good feel for what you're going to get out of a player or players. And how do you develop that?
Well, it's the most important thing. Like that's the number one thing that within 5% what this young man's going to give. We're not there yet. We got a couple guys, but not enough. And the only way of doing that, getting that, is demonstrated performance. How they are in the games is, what do you bring every game? Are you overwhelmed by it? Are you excited about it? Are you focused and engaged? Are you into yourself? I mean, this is all the experience of learning to be a great teammate. Some of the stuff, again, we like to learn slower so that we're not just thrown to the wolves, but it is what it is. And I mentioned to them again today, like, look, guys, we're playing defense as well as anybody in the country. We're not making baskets. And I said, why? And I look at Riley Welsh and he said, because our shot selection stinks. I said, why is that? Because everybody's trying to make baskets for themselves versus how, and we just keep doing it and we talk about it. But again, it's a key for us. Now, you could say, Coach, you also miss wide open shots and free throws. We do, but we have too many tough shots we take when we shouldn't. And it's usually early in the shot clock, but we're working on it. We talked about it this morning. We're going to have a practice a little bit later today. And like I said, we have one group that really guards 0.56 points per possession. So then you would say, why don't you just leave them in the whole time? Okay, that group is scoring 0.6 points per possession. So now you say, well, you can't leave them in because they can't score. Well, slightly more than they're giving up. But that game would be 42-41. Then you go and say, okay, is there a way we can use that lineup different? We're tweaking, we're trying. And then there's other lineups that we got to get on the floor more because their points per possession are in that 1.2, 1.3 range, 1.35, which means that's as good as they are in the country. Then you look back and say, all right, how does that group defend? And what are they giving up? And so we're, this is tweaking, analyzing, looking at numbers. At the end of the day, I told them, you guys could be as good as anybody in the country. You got to get on a roll. That means you got to score some baskets. You got to stay defensively where you are. And now we got to make easy plays for each other. We got to open up the court a little bit. But even then, you're not doing it for you to just try to score. Sometimes it's a drive and then it's a pass. And then maybe another drive. It isn't drive. Okay, my turn drive. Okay, your turn drive. We're trying to get that feel. And I'm telling them, you guys are listening because they're really respectful, but you're not hearing all the time. I did something with Andrew Harrison, and you guys know, and he ended up scoring more points per game than he did prior to, as his whole focus was on creating shots for somebody. And what had happened was it became contagious. It was contagious. Now everybody passed. We had a pass fest. And all of a sudden we went and it's hard right now because we got to get that first guy why didn't he want me to shoot? Oh my gosh, what? We're trying to get this going and trying different things. But I keep saying, you guys got to believe that we're close. We're there. No one wants us to bust through because now all of a sudden we become a team that everybody's like, you don't want to play them now. But we got to do it on the court. We got to bust through.
John Hale will come to you next.
Cal, on paper at least, it looked like BJ was as prepared as anybody for this in terms of he played with other elite players in high school and AAU. He went to a high school program where the spotlight was really bright. What is he not doing now that he was doing so well during the recruiting process?
Well, the competition is different. So you're not playing now against high school players. You're playing against somebody who's 3 years older than you, more physical, more trained. He had no summer here. The fall might as well have thrown it out. And so now you just start playing basketball. And what you do, the habits that you need to create, he really hasn't created yet. The ability to draw fouls versus avoid contact and flip balls. Which one are you seeing right now? The ability to get the ball by the man, which you can do, or I'm going to play with the ball and then not get, all those kind of habits that he's got to have different habits. I'm a downhill runner. I'm a free throw drawing beast. I don't have to be strong, but I'm drawing free throws. And then really consistent how you train so that when you walk in the game, it's the same. It's just taking him more time. And we've given him, a lot of room to go. He's scoring points, but they're not in an efficient way. I haven't given up on him, but he's not playing the way he needs to play for himself or for us to win ball games.
Larry Bob will come to you next.
John, when you were talking about a lot of the different frustrations that you feel and your players feel, do you think it's kind of the same with fans because of everything that's going on right now? Do you think fans get frustrated about things quicker?
Well, yeah, and it's not just basketball. It's everything included in this. And so, you have all the outside stuff that they're dealing with too, just like you and I. You have the corona stuff. You have their own life, and whether there's job loss or money loss or this corona, I can't get out. I don't believe, I do believe, all this stuff. There's a frustration out there. And I'll be honest with you, it's unacceptable where we are right now. Unacceptable. I'm trying to figure out everything I can because I am not happy at all. But on the flip side, I can't do this in a normal way that I would, which is, I'd be a little harder, I'd be a little louder, I'd be a little more aggressive, I'd be quicker to things. Wouldn't worry how they're feeling. Grow up, put your big boy pants on. Well, you can't do it's, coaches will tell you, if you have a veteran team, you can do about what you've been doing. But if you have young guys, new guys, none of us on this call have been through the experience that these kids are going through. And someone early asked me, do I feel uneducated as far as what I'm worried about? Yes, I do. The mental health piece of this, the fragileness of this. I do feel unprepared. I'm not an expert in that. I'm, many things I may be an expert in, but not that. If you ask my wife, she'd say I'm an expert in nothing, but this is a different animal, and I'm not, someone would say that, well, he's just getting soft. I am different. I'm no softer. I'm still to the point. I've hit guys, but then I have to go grab them and hug them. When I say I hit a guy, I jump him pretty hard. I make it clear in front of his teammates. And then you got to go grab him and say, do you understand what I'm saying and why? Like, I believe in you, but you can't be this way. You got to be this, this, and this. But I believe in you. I know how good you are. You can't be worried about yourself. Worry about our team. Let's worry about being a better team. Do you get it? Come here, give me a hug. What? I mean, this is uncharted waters for everybody. You see coaches out there. I saw Vanderbilt said they're done. They're locking it down. I heard the Baylor women's coach saying, well, if you were in the middle of this, you can understand why they would say those things as we fight on. And, I'm proud of the university, how we've set this up for the kids, but we're also traveling. I worry when we get in planes. I worry when we go to hotels. I worry even walking in the other guy's arena. I mean, I'm trying to make sure my first thing is we keep going and keep these kids safe.
Okay, guys, we'll take two more. Kyle Tucker and then John Wong.
Yeah, Cal, you the thing you said the other night about, you don't want to take anybody's heart. How do you balance, that, which I think is obviously a fair concern, with the other guys who are maybe playing to a level that have earned more time or a starting spot
So Kyle, you've watched me. What usually happens through the year? Well, you've watched me coach. I've been here 11 years. Pretty, done fairly good. What happens over the course of the year? Does the cream rise here?
Yes.
And that's what's going to happen now. Some guys will step up. Some guys will take a step back. It's not different now because of our record. It's like, do it now, do it. This is basketball. This isn't football where one loss, your season's over. We just got to get this thing right, and we got to go on a run. And the only way we're going to do that is have a team full of guys who are in a great frame of mind. Listen, you got to step back, and you and I know why. I got it, coach, and I'm going to be ready. And now he steps back and the other steps forward. What none of us want to do is put so much on any of these kids that you hurt the kid. So now a kid that was in a great role and doing great, now you put him in some other role and now you hurt the kid. I don't want to do that either. But every kid deserves an opportunity to show, which we do every year. And so this is no different, except we didn't have the exhibitions, the stuff up front that we normally have. But 10 to 12 games is about normal here. for us to get, you can't, kid comes here and in 3 games, you decide, well, he can play or not play. I can't do that. And I've done this 35 years. It takes me time. Maybe you can, or fans can't. I can't. So I got to let it play out a little bit. Do I wish kids would jump up more? Yeah, I do. But they're not robots. They're not computers. The cream always rises. It always does here. And sometimes it affects guys where, okay, I can't, but in most cases they know, we did this. Everybody had an opportunity to show. So Kyle, I hope that answers it. But again, you've seen me over the years. I have one objective. To win. You think I'm going to play somebody because I like them more? You know what I told guys when they come to see me? I already like you, so don't say stuff in here to make me like you more. I already like you. All right, let's just be real. The other thing is, listen, I'll have you come to my house. I love you. You can stay overnight. I'll make you breakfast. Doesn't mean you're going to play more or less. It's not what this is. And it's not one child over another child. It's, all right, now how about what I'm saying to you now? We're looking at combinations. Well, it's not about a combination. It's about this guy and that guy. Well, not so. What combinations in the last 5 games have played well offensively? What combinations have played well defensively? Combinations. It's a team. And so you look at those numbers and now you say, okay, then that combination needs to play a little better defense. What can we do? How are they getting scored on? They aren't scoring at all, but they're stopping everybody. Well, is there another way we can play with that unit and play in a simple way, not totally changing how we're playing? But I'm trying everything. I'm tweaking everything. I'm working out, running, sleeping. I'm getting my rest. I'm in a fighting mood. I'm mad. I'm disappointed. I'm not happy in any way, but these are our guys. And I'm going to say all this to you and to our fans. We can't trade them. This is who they are. And now I have a job to do. Keep them safe. How can I get each individual playing better? How can I make sure that I challenge without burying them? Take their heart away. How do I do this and say, guys, what is the best team within this team look like? And who are they? And they start playing more. Like if I said to you, I'm only going to play 6 guys. That's all I'm playing is 6. Who would you say the 6 would be? Well, you got to play 9. And it's hard to play 9 and 10. If I played 6, who would they be? Isn't it more game to game right now? So now this guy plays well this game, that guy, we're still the consistency that we need from individuals, not quite there yet. But I'm not giving up on anything. Tough game at Georgia. They played well against Mississippi on the road. They added a new player similar to what Auburn did, so they're not the same team now. Matter of fact, they had Auburn on the ropes and they beat Mississippi. So you know what? We're going into another hard game for us. But so what? We got to break through at some point. If it's not this week or this week, Wednesday, then it better be this weekend. Time to break through and make strides. Thanks.